we're back for episode 2 of what I'm officially now calling 6 Days, 60 Albums, where we're going through the Elvis RCA albums collection here on Blue Suede Reviews, and kind of just giving my brief thoughts on Elvis's albums that were released in his lifetime as they appear in the RCA albums box set. And next up is number 2, Elvis. Just Elvis. That's all it's called. This was kind of the sequel to Elvis Presley, the first album, but it was much more concentrated and more coherent as far as recording quality and things like that. All of these were recorded for RCA. All of the songs on here are for RCA, and this is where we first see some songs that really become ingrained in rock and roll history. On the first one, you have Blue Suede Shoes, and that's about it. But on the second one, Rip It Up, Love Me, Ready Teddy. I would even go as far as to say Long Tall Sally and Paralyzed. It's really fascinating to listen to these albums as they appear in their original format. But even more fascinating is to actually look at the album artwork, which was recreated for this box set. And if you want an idea of how revolutionary Elvis Presley was at the time that he started, you need not look any further than the back of his second album. RCA had put advertisements for other albums for people to buy on the back of Elvis's albums, and I went and looked up some of these artists. There's Lavelle, Frankie Carl, Matt Dennis. There's even the Walt Disney Song Carousel, and there's little artwork of Brer Rabbit and Bambi and Peter Pan and Pinocchio and a bunch of little Disney characters down here. All of this is kids' music or easy listening music. Nothing at all like rock and roll. And nothing at all like what you would hear on an Elvis Presley album in 1956. But as far as this album is concerned, listening to it again has really been nice to reappreciate, to allow me to reappreciate just how groundbreaking the music that he was doing in 1956 was. You can't really go wrong with a song like Love Me. And it's been done 1,000 times over. When you go back to that master recording, and it's superb. I'm geeking out here, and I'm not even listening to it. And Ready Teddy. That was when he appeared on. I believe that was the. I think he did that on. I think he did it on both Ed Sullivan and the Dorsey Brothers. I'd have to double check that, but and I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments below. But those television performances were great marketing tools for this, and in fact, they actually talk about TV performances on here. They have liner notes on some of these earliest albums. The later albums don't really have much, but these first few actually have quite a bit of reading for you to do while you're listening. They talk a little bit about him being in New York on TV. What happened that night and during the days following is now history. And they were saying this in 1957. It's now history. The national gaze was pivoted to Presley en masse. The rain above was quickly transformed into a deluge of acclaim all over the country. In the South, people understood and were delighted by the success of their 21-year-old prodigy. Elsewhere, this enthusiasm was carried first by amazement and then later by sizzling controversy. So even back in 1956, they were already latching on to this idea of let's create a narrative for Elvis's life story. and for his career and his rise to superstardom, because it really hadn't been done before. I mean, there was like your Frank Sinatra, and some of those earlier large scale, very well known artists, but nothing on the scale like Elvis. I mean, like the first one, what else can I say about this one? It's great. It's Elvis in his prime as a rock and roller. So definitely check this one out.